Hey guys, what's up? It's YrevzZ here, and yeah, this is gonna be a tutorial on Cinema 4D. Finally gonna start it. Really excited. Haven't really. I've been messing around a lot with it, and I feel pretty confident that I can at least help out a lot of the people that are beginning, and probably help out the intermediate people. I'm not so pro at it yet, but. Uh, right now we're just going to kind of run down some of these sort of like what some of this stuff means and some good render out settings and just a couple things like that. And then I'm just going to teach you how to make a text and make it look like pretty good for a background. Like, say you want to do something like that. Get that out of there. Like that. I made that just a little while ago because I just started on this laptop. Let's start out with this. These are render settings. We don't mess with anything in general. We usually just mess with output, save, and anti-aliasing. Yeah, we use that. Alright. Now, if you're going to use it for a background, 1920 by 1080 is a good thing. A good, what's it called, width and height and stuff. 1920, 10, such a failure. I hate laptops, they suck. And make sure that's on pixels, it's most likely going to be on there. So 1920 by 1080. Now if you want to do it for, say, you want to make an intro or something, it would be 1080 or 1280 by 720. But we'll get into that stuff whenever we get to making the intros. Now your save spot, I'm going to save it to my desktop as the same one that I saved last time. Yes, I want to override it. Alright, so you got your save spot, got that checked and all that. Alright, format. Now, this is going to be kind of, I'm going to put it down as a JPEG. And that's so it doesn't lose any quality, and that's like a standard picture format. Now, if you was gonna put it into, say, if you wanted to take it to Photoshop, you would put down PNG. And if you're gonna do an intro, I usually put down mine as QuickTime Movie. But since we're only gonna be doing a picture, we're gonna go to JPEG. I don't know if you guys can hear that. That's my phone. Anti-alias. We're going to go to best. And we're going to keep that on still image. And yeah, basically done. And we're going to go to effect. And turn on. Oh, had a hiccup there for a minute. I was like, no. Ambient occlusion. The very first one. Now, we don't mess with that, but we're going to uncheck it. That way, the render time, whenever we push this button, it's going to render out everything, but it won't take as long, because that's just like a preview render, and we don't want that to really take a long time. But, alright, to the text. Now, there are two ways to do text. Basically, we're just really, I'm going to show you both ways. So, next to this cube, which is like objects and shit like that, but we don't want that. We want the one right next to it with the squiggly line. We're going to go down to text, and then go to the one right next to it, and go to extrude NURBS. And then as you can see, it's not 3D looking quite yet. So you want to take text, drag it up over extrude NURBS until the arrow next to your cursor is pointing downwards. and just drop it there. And now, as you can see, it's all nice and 3D looking. And that way, in my opinion, is not used like at all a lot. So we're just gonna go ahead and delete that shit. But here is the second way. You go up here, right next to render and character. You're gonna go to MoGraph, MoText, and pop. There we go. That is the same thing that we just did, just with one button click basically, because we had to click it, hold it, and release it. So one click. Alright, so now you got your text down here next to the text. If you got your text object clicked on and highlighted or whatever, down here it says text right next to it. You can name whatever you want. I'm gonna do YrevzZ all caps. There we go. Alright, now as you can see, that's all fine and dandy. I don't have any really cool fonts, but in case you want to know, like, you got fonts, the font is right next to, or right under that box where you just typed. I guess I could use a different one. I'll use this one. It looks pretty cool. That's fucking... no. Just no. Okay, that's pretty basic right there. Alright, now as you can see, you got your text, and we're going to make this a little bit thicker. So right above that box, you're going to see depth, and you're going to want to bring it up to about 100. This one probably won't look all that great in 100, but we'll just go ahead and do it anyways. The depth is really just matters on how you like it and what works for your font. But in this little situation, this kind of I would put this like a little bit lower, like 90 or 80, but it don't matter. Alright. Now, next to object, you're going to see caps. Go to caps and bring down the start cap to fillet cap and the end cap to fillet cap. Now we're going to zoom in here. Zoom in nice and close. Alright, I'm going to render this out really quick. As you can see, man, I can't see shit. Damn you. Alright, well, you can kind of see it right now. I think it's just kind of like okay, yeah, you can see that pretty good. It's got a nice beveled edge. It's kind of like chiseled. I don't know. That's what it reminds me of. Like somebody chiseled that part out and make it look a little bit cleaner. And me, I like to bring my steps right above or right under your fillet caps. I like to bring your steps up to 3. And as you can see, after you render that out, it doesn't look like a chiseled effect or whatever you want to call it. It doesn't look like it was chiseled all out. It just rolls over really smooth, which I kind of like that because I like text that looks really smooth, not like blocky kind of stuff. Now, alright. So we got our revs. It's looking good, looking all nice and sweet. Let's go ahead and make a material to put on there. And to make them a new material, you can either do it the way I just did it. You can double click in this little square, or not little, but this square oh my gosh, I'm dumb. Rectangular area just down here. You can double click that, or you can go to File, go to New Material, or Control N, which is right here. We're going to need 2, so you can do either 3 of those ways to make 2 materials. Now just pick one of them to change, and go to Color. And me, I'm going to kind of I'm going to use a nice little blue for that. Take off Specular. And go to Reflection. My bad, guys. Go to Reflection, which is right under Transparency. And bring the brightness down to about 20. And I think... oh no, what is it doing? Why are you freezing? I was scared. Alright. And to add that on there, as you can see, I just kind of click and hold on the material that you just changed and drag it over to your text. And I'm really sorry I didn't explain that, but before I did it, but I did it and I explained it. Alright, now as you can see, it's looking good. It's looking pretty sweet right now. I like it. I actually like this font. I might have to remember this font. It's actually working really good for tutorials. Alright, now we click out, get it all unrendered and stuff. Alright, now this is going to be the cool part. Or at least to me. I thought it was cool whenever I first figured it out. Alright, now we're going to kind of bring it above so you can see what I'm going to be talking about here. Alright, let's bring it above right here. Alright, go to your MoText, click on it, make sure it's highlighted, and you're going to copy. You're going to basically make another copy of it. So hold Control and press C, and then Control V, and now you're going to have two copies of your text. Now I'm going to name, I'm going to name this YrevzZ. That way I can just kind of know which one is which. And I'm going to delete, excuse me, I'm going to delete the material off my second copy. Now, as you can see, your text turned white. It's not really white. It's just they're both the same everything. So they're the same depth. They got everything the same on them. So basically, we just gotta mess around with everything. And what we're gonna do right now is go to your YrevzZ or whatever, your second copy, and change your radius, which is under your steps, to 10 on both end and start cap. And go to Object and bring the depth down to basically whatever you want. I'm going to bring mine down to 80. I'm going to bring it down to about 75. Nah, 70. I already passed 75 and I'm too lazy to go back to it. Alright, there we go. That's Alright. Now tell me how you like that. That looks quite a bit better than just a straight blue. Straight baby blue. That looks pretty good. I like that. I like this font. I'm loving it. Alright. Now we're basically gonna add another material onto our second copy. So go to your second material that you added and make sure your color is highlighted, because it usually starts off where you left your material editor at, and I left on reflection and it was there, but I clicked on color. So we're gonna go ahead and I want to make like a kind of purplish, like a darker purple. Take off specular. I don't like what specular does. Specular, whenever you render stuff out, it gives it like a weird, like whiter look. Alright, so that's looking good. It's got basically like a satin over it, like a purple satin or purple border outline of your text. Yeah, it's looking good. Now, if you guys want to make it kind of like how I did mine, I got shadows and like a floor. What we're going to do for that is we're going to go to this square finally. We're going to go to the square, we're going to click and hold, and bring it to plane. Now what the plane is it's just a solid ground basically. It gives the text something to sit on or whatever else you're doing, and it gives you like a area to work on, I guess, if you're going for something with borders or something like that. I don't know. I can't really explain that. But as you can see, it's kind of cutting into our text. So just take this this green arrow and just drag it down a little bit to where it's not touching, and maybe give it a little bit of space. And if you can always readjust all this stuff. And what these green, blue, and red arrows are is your X, Y, and Z axis. This is your Y, and the blue one I believe is your X. Oh no, it's your Z, and the red one is your X. Yep, I was right. Okay. I just wanted to make sure I was right, because I'd feel pretty dumb if I wasn't. I just don't like this stuff. Alright. Make sure, okay, you got plane highlighted, so go down to your width and height, and press in a bunch of 9s. And no, I'm not German. Alright. Now, as you can see, there is a plane there. It's kind of bland, kind of, you know, just what the fuck. That looks stupid. Don't worry, it's going to look better. Now we're going to add the light. And that is what this one is right here. It's got the 4 little directional arrows going off in different directions. You can either do this 2 ways. You can just click, or you can click and hold and go to light. Now as you can see, there's a light object right there. So we're going to take our Z axis, we're going to pull it back and pull it up. We're going to actually put this thing like right over our text. That way it will look like, it'll kind of just look like really professional, I guess you could say. So just take it right over to your text and just drag that thing right up there. We're just going to zoom out. I'm done doing all this crap. I don't have a mouse, like a mouse. I have a mouse pad for the laptop. I haven't been getting around as much on my laptop. I fucking hate this thing. Alright, that thing is completely down. But basically, yeah, I was just saying, excuse my movements, mouse movement. Alright, so we got our light object nice and highlighted. Go to shadow, click on shadow where it says none, and then go to shadow map soft. Now it doesn't look like it did anything, but I'm gonna put it at kind of like an angle where you can kind of tell. And we're gonna render. It doesn't really look as great as I want it to, but that is how you do that. See, I did this on a cinematic, and it actually looks really fucking sick. Yeah, we're just going to do a default one, bring it back, bring it down a bit, and now I'll show you. We'll render that out. As you can see, there's text behind it. Come on, hurry up and render. Alright. We're gonna, yeah, it's looking pretty good. It's really nice for maybe like 10-15 minutes of doing this. I mean, shit. If I knew it only took 10 to 15 minutes, then I would, shoot, I'd have some really cool ass backgrounds right now. I actually do. If you guys, yeah. But yeah, guys, that's it. Now go to your rendering settings, and click on ambient occlusion, and we're gonna go ahead and render that back out. Yes, and I'm gonna, alright. Now while this renders, I kind of want to ask, or tell you guys that I have a editor's pack in it's got some really helpful stuff. So if you're a beginning editor, then that might be something that you want to go check out, because it's got, I think, like 93 handle much of anything, let alone a capturing thing. I think I get like 5 FPS with it. That thing's horrible. Even this thing's pretty fucking bad. I guess I could explain this a bit. This is the picture viewer, but it's actually like it's just showing you where it is on rendering. And this down here is the little bar, and it's moving. This means that it's in the process of rendering, I'm pretty sure, because whenever it turns green, it means that part's done rendering. But yeah, I mean, next time. So if you guys would love to see that, then please do subscribe. Really helps out. Really makes these videos worth making and putting my time and effort into. I mean,